Well, it happened. I went and I was hitting it down over there, whatever, and I was in high boost, 5th gear pull. You seeing some smoke come out of there. I cracked the block. I don't know to, like what extent, but I see some, there's quite a bit of oil, and then over there in the bottom, there's a, oh shit, you're not gonna see, but basically right there, there's some piece of metal, but I'm not sticking my hand down in there to warm up and see. Let's take this. Yeah, it's what we call crack bottom end, rings, ring lands, whatever. I had fun doing it, so we'll see. All right, so that's cool. Had a fellow S13 come. I seen him come from that way, and then he went that. Next thing you know, I hear an exhaust, and he came up this way, kind of just to see what's up. I'm like, yeah, crack the block. But whatever. I got the other motor at home, so it is what it is. And it's crazy too, because I was looking at the air fuel ratio, and it was like 11.1, 11.2, and then all of a sudden I just smoke. And so then I thought, oh wait up. Yeah, so and today's Valentine's Day. So I hurt my baby's heart. I broke my baby's heart on Valentine's Day. Anyhow, so I was hitting, down that stretch, 5th gear, man, just riding out. And everything was fine, and all of a sudden she just let go. So I mean, I'll open up the block and see what's up. It might, be like forever. I mean, I was dailying her every day. So I'm not too worried. Whatever, same shit, different day, another story, whatever. But it was pretty cool that, KA dude ended up coming, checking me out, see if I was all right. That's what's up. But I'll go and basically go next week. I mean, whatever, take out this motor, and when I do it, I'll probably address some other issues that I got too and see what's up. But all right then, y'all. All right, so she's back home, but this is the piece that was sitting there, and to me looks like it's the wrist pin. So this is like the bottom of the piston, and there goes, the wrist pin there. And then if you guys know like stock castings, you usually see like those, but I mean, there's definitely oil on it, and that, so the wrist pin basically came out of the damn motor. And I don't know, I'm about to go to the store, so we're gonna take this into that baby. Yeah, she looks good. All right, hey, what's up guys? Not much. I'm trying to like multitask because Valentine's Day, and gotta run to the store real quick and get some corn. But anyhow, the video that I just did, like with a little piece which looks like the wrist pin, is broken. So now it's coming to, why did this wrist pin break? Detonation is a cause, and I'm not ruling it out, but this motor failed when I was doing about 6,000 RPMs in 5th gear. My timing, the way, you definitely, have it is where basically you find your peak torque with your timing, which is MBT, and then based on that, what do you call it? That's where a lot of the thrust and, torque happens. But anyhow, after that, you start increasing the timing with the motor, and I think I may have done it, but I only did it like maybe 1 degree after every 1,000 RPMs. And the reason why you do that is because the volumetric efficiency drops. So you give the motor a little bit more time to pull in fresh air before, you know, sparking it. But anyhow, I've had detonation happen in the KA, and that was from overboosting, and I bent a rod, but more or less I cracked 3 ring lands. You know, I thought I cracked pistons, you know, 3 pistons, and I broke the ring lands and all. This just completely fucking demolished the piston. You know, until I open it up, then I can see, but then it's like trying to figure out what's the cause. You know, it's a matter that, you know, possibly, you know, from with me, what, you know, if the rod were to let go, you know, that's one where, let's say the rod bolt failed, and then the journal went back up and it just hit that rod right on perfect, and it took it up and possibly hit a valve. You know, there's so many different scenarios. But I'm not too sure that the tune was a cause. Like, again, I'm not ruling it out, but I'm just trying to see if this was just a weak mechanical failure. You know, the other scenarios that, you know, you could possibly say, which my brother-in-law told, you know, says basically if the rings start butting up together, if they don't come out the top, similar to when you see how other, you know, pistons on top of the piston just kind of breaks out because the rings butt up, they get like this, and they don't have nowhere to go, so they go up because that's where the weakest pressure is, and then that cracks the top. But that could have happened too. But the only thing is, for the wrist pin to like kind of crack, you know, like that, was when they butts up, it puts that extra force onto the cylinder walls, and it produces a lot of drag. You know, this is the first time I've ever had wrist pin failure. So, you know, but then again, I haven't really fully diagnosed it to say, you know, what's what. But it's funny because I came in, wife's like, why is my brother here? I'm like, yeah, you know, I had to bring in the car. She's like, what, it broken? I'm like, yeah, I put a hole in my heart. And then she's like, oh man, now you're gonna be all sad and this and whatever. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. Besides, because I got a spare block. But you know, it's a learning curve, and so I'm curious as to see what the cause is. So going forward, you know, one of the things is open up the ring gap on the stock rings, and then upgrade the what do you call it, the rod bolts. I upgraded the rod bolts on the KA when I first went boost with the stock block, and then what ended up happening, I over boosted, and it, like I said, it bent some rods, but no rod bolt failure. I don't know. So, but then I'm just actually curious too with the hole in the block. You know, if that came through, did it break the what do you call it, the sleeves and come through, or did it just, after it let go, or, you know, the wrist pin or whatever the hell break, like it came down so low that it let the rod kind of slip underneath the sleeve, and then when the when the crank shot it back up, that's what, you know, put a hole. You know, there's a lot of questions to be answered, but for the most part, like, oh, and then after that, I was like, oh, you know, it was still running, you know, whatever, when I turned it off. Well, shit, when I turned it off, and now this is a good indication too, as to that the rod bolts are fine. What do you call it? When I went to go when I shut it off, you know, it was running, making damn noise. Anyhow, when I went to go turn it on, it started spinning. It went, and then the motor locked up, and I was like, So, I mean, it could still maybe get jammed in there, but if the rod bolts were to completely let go, that would let that rod fall down somewhere, and kind of just, you know, let it rotate per se, you know, let the journal keep going. But now that, let's say it is still connected, it's wrist pin failure, and what's that shit called? I don't know. I don't know. I'm just talking on my ass. Oh, that is still connected, and that's what's jamming up and binding up the crank. But anyhow, we'll see what's up. It's a pretty thing. So, like I said, we'll open her up, see what the failure is, and then if we say that this was it, that was that, then I'll address it with other little issues. So, all right, let me. Oh, come on, dude! It's fucking raining. What are you doing, stupid Mustang? So, all right, late.